What if I told you that right now, at this very moment, there are conversations happening about you in rooms you've never entered, and decisions being made that will change your life forever? What if I told you that the people, the opportunities, and the resources you've been praying for are already moving toward you? But there's one thing that could cause you to miss it completely. In the next few minutes, I'm going to reveal the hidden signs that God is aligning everything in your favor, and the shocking reason why some people lose it just moments before it arrives. Sometimes, one message can change everything. This could be that moment between you and God. There are seasons in life when it feels like you've been pressing forward with everything in you, and yet nothing seems to be moving. You're showing up. You're working hard. You're trying to do the right thing. You're praying. You're believing. You're waiting. But it's like you're on a treadmill, a lot of effort, but you're still in the same place. Maybe that's been your story lately. You've been wondering if you're missing something, if God forgot you, if the prayers you've been praying have gone unanswered because of some hidden disqualification you don't even know about. But I want to tell you something that might shift your entire perspective. Delay does not mean denial. In fact, many times, the longer the preparation, the greater the alignment that's coming. God is not stalling, He's arranging. Before alignment comes, God often allows a season of pressure. That pressure is not meant to crush you. It's meant to shape you. Think about a diamond. It begins as a piece of carbon, completely unremarkable. But under extreme heat and pressure, it becomes one of the most valuable and beautiful materials on Earth. Pressure seasons force out what doesn't belong. They reveal weaknesses so they can be strengthened. They make sure that when the blessing comes, you can carry it without breaking. And sometimes the pressure doesn't make sense. You might feel it in your finances, where no matter how careful you are, something unexpected always comes up. You might feel it in relationships. People you thought would be in your corner for life suddenly distance themselves. You might feel it in your own mind, old insecurities resurfacing, battles you thought you'd won trying to creep back in. It's in those moments that you have to remember, this is part of the process. God isn't ignoring you, He's aligning you. Every uncomfortable shift is part of positioning you for what's next. One of the clearest signs that alignment is near is when wrong doors start to close. And not just close. Sometimes they slam shut so loudly you can't ignore them. That job you've been in for years suddenly ends. That friendship you've been holding on to begins to fade. That plan you were so sure about falls apart. At first, it feels like loss. But in God's hands, loss is often protection. He sees things you can't see. He knows conversations you're not a part of. He knows the hidden motives of people you've been trusting. And sometimes, His no is the only thing standing between you and a disaster you never saw coming. When He closes a door, it's because there's something on the other side that would derail your destiny. That's why discernment is so important. Not every closed door is an attack from the enemy. Some are assignments from heaven to redirect you into better alignment. The key is to stop asking, "Why is this happening to me?" and start asking, God, what are you protecting me from? Sometimes alignment starts not with a door closing, but with a small, unexpected opening. You might meet someone by chance who ends up being the exact connection you've needed for years. You might overhear a conversation that gives you a key idea. You might get a call out of the blue with an invitation you weren't expecting. These moments may seem random at first, but divine alignment often begins quietly. God doesn't always announce what He's doing with a trumpet blast. Sometimes it starts with a whisper. And if you pay attention, you'll notice that these small openings start to form a pattern. An email here, a conversation there, a door that seemed locked suddenly swinging open. These aren't accidents. They're clues that alignment is taking shape. Of course, not everything is a divine sign. If your favorite restaurant finally gets your order right, that's probably just good customer service, not prophecy. But when you start to see repeated patterns of favor in multiple areas, that's when you know God is moving the pieces. Before the full blessing arrives, there's almost always a test. And this is where many people miss their alignment. Tests in these seasons are rarely obvious. They don't come with a label saying, "This is a test from God." Instead, they come disguised as shortcuts, distractions, or temptations. They might appeal to your pride, your comfort, or your desire for quick results. You might be offered an opportunity that looks perfect on the surface, but would require you to compromise your values. You might be tempted to settle for something good enough because you're tired of waiting for God's best. You might be pressured to keep relationships or habits that you know are holding you back. These moments are designed to reveal what's in your heart. Can you be trusted with the blessing you've been praying for? Will you protect it? Or will you compromise it? Think about Joseph in the Bible. His journey to alignment was filled with betrayal, slavery, false accusations, and prison. But each of those seasons prepared him for leadership. If he had failed the test of integrity when Potiphar's wife tempted him, or the test of patience while waiting in prison, he never would have been ready to step into the position Pharaoh offered him. The test is not there to punish you. It's there to prove you're ready. When you pass the test and the alignment clicks, acceleration begins. And acceleration feels different than anything you've experienced before. Suddenly, things you've been waiting years for start happening in days. The meeting you've been hoping for gets scheduled. The funding you've been praying for comes through. The relationship you've been believing for takes a step forward. Acceleration is when years of preparation meet the perfect timing of God. What felt stuck for so long suddenly moves forward at a pace you didn't think was possible. And yes, it can feel overwhelming at first. You might wonder if it's too much, too fast. You might even feel like you need to slow it down. But acceleration is part of the blessing. It's God redeeming the time you thought you'd lost. It's the moment when He says, "You've been faithful in the waiting. Now, watch me make up for the years that felt wasted." But acceleration without action is wasted. God can open every door you need, but He won't drag you through it. The decision to step forward is always yours. Many people pray for opportunities, but freeze when those opportunities actually show up. They doubt their ability. They overthink the risks. They wait for perfect conditions that will never exist. Delayed obedience is still disobedience. When God prompts you to move, it's because the timing is right, not just for you, but for every person your obedience will impact. If you say no, He can give the opportunity to someone else who's ready to say yes. This is why courage is so critical in seasons of alignment. Stepping into the unknown will always be uncomfortable, but comfort zones are where dreams go to die. If you want the life God has promised you, you must be willing to walk through doors that scare you. Receiving your blessing is not the end, it's the beginning. Alignment is not a one-time event. It's a position you must maintain. To sustain alignment, you must remain connected to the source. Prayer is not just for the storms, it's for the sunshine. Gratitude is not just for the big breakthroughs, it's for the small daily provisions. Integrity is not just for when people are watching, it's for when no one sees but God. If you think of the blessing as the finish line, you'll lose it. But if you think of it as the starting line for a new chapter, you'll grow it. God doesn't align things for a moment. He aligns them for a movement. And that movement often extends far beyond you. It touches your family, your community, and generations to come. Right now, whether you see it or not, God is arranging things in your favor. He's aligning resources you don't know about. He's moving people into position who will one day open doors for you. He's preparing opportunities that will seem to appear out of nowhere, but were actually in the works all along. Every delay you've faced has been part of the setup. Every disappointment has been a redirection. Every no you've received has been making room for the yes that will change everything. Think of your life like a GPS. When you take a wrong turn, the GPS doesn't panic. It recalculates and finds a new route. God does the same thing. Your mistakes haven't disqualified you. Your detours haven't destroyed your destiny. He knows exactly how to get you back into alignment. But alignment is not passive. It requires action. When the signs come, and they will, you must be ready to step forward. In the coming days, you may notice unusual favor, divine connections, or unexpected invitations. Don't dismiss them as coincidence. They're part of the alignment. And remember, the window of alignment is not permanent. It's a moment in time that requires courage and obedience. If you move when He says move, you will look back on this season and see that everything, the waiting, the pressure, the closed doors, was worth it. The question is not whether God will align things in your favor. He will. The question is whether you'll be ready to act when He does.